Hey guys, welcome back to Marsha Speaks. This is Marsha, and we're doing a review of Charmed Season 2. Why do I always have to look at you like I don't know what episode this is? Season 2, Episode 18. And y'all, I am excited because Sabbath is over, Bay's birthday is over, and I can focus on Charmed and review it to my heart's content, right? And next week is gonna be the season finale. They didn't drag it all the way to 20 something, they dragged it to 20. So I'll take the blessings where I can. Like I said in the past, I've been taking your feedback and we will be reviewing all my videos from now on by watching the TV show and reviewing it at the same time. So my TV is over here and you guys are clearly over here. So if you guys see me go this way and back and forth, it's because my TV's over here. Like y'all don't know this by now. But anywho, let's get right into the episode, y'all. Before we even get into the episode, because I haven't really gotten that far, I've only gotten to the previously section. Somehow the the person that brought the Macy back from the dead is gonna somehow be involved in this episode. But when they brought Harry back to back to the manor, it made me back to headquarters. It made me rethink this. Do we not believe that they don't have cameras where they kept all of the magical beings? So doesn't that mean that Julian actually already knows that Macy is a witch and that Macy's the reason why Harry got away? Like, I don't know why I didn't think about this last episode, but that's a factor, right? Julian knows that Macy's a witch. Why did I think of this? So we found out the episode starts off with Harry not knowing who he is and not knowing technically he knows who he is. He knows himself as Jimmy, the last memories of when he was fully human. He just doesn't know who the girls are, and the girls are getting irritated because he is unlocking information, like he has information in his mind that they need. But I'm like, does he really have information in his mind that they need? Because he was trapped in a tube for a while, so does he really have that much information? But that's neither here nor there. I would like to note, before we get to Maggie, I would like to note that Macy isn't good at giving reasons why people should trust her. She explains that the paste that is on her hands to help restore Harry's memory has side effects, possible brain damage and neurological damage due to traumatic memories that are being unlocked as well. And I'm like, sis, this man don't know you. What are you doing? This is what? But beside that, we also find out that Maggie is having some type of physical issue. Like she's feeling like she's on fire pretty much, and on their way to meet their father, and it ends up being Mel has to go by herself. And so it's just interesting because each sister is in 3 different locations. Mel's with her dad, Macy is in the manor, and Maggie is at the headquarters. But that's what we got so far. But I just thought, really, Macy, what? And sidebar, Maggie's acting when she was felt like she was on fire was not good. Or more specifically, her acting when she fell into Mel's arms because she didn't feel well. That wasn't good. Okay, so the spell backfired. Dramatically. So the spell that was supposed to help Harry open his memories ends up backfiring very dramatically on Macy. And then we see Macy with some braids, sis. Okay, come through. We see Macy with some braids, and she's over here doing karaoke and living very, carefree. Not the Macy that we know and love. And I'm like, okay, I like this side of you. But that also reminds me that we really actually don't know that much about Macy. We don't know at all how she was before she met the sisters, what caused her to be so, type A. We don't know we don't really know anything about Macy before she even came to the place where the sisters used to live. So, okay, I really want the commercial to speed up because I really want to know what's happening next. I'm still in shock. And of course, that's the next problem is that Harry is, or Jimmy, whatever you want to call himself, is stuck in the manor, or maybe he can get out. But how's Jimmy going to get help for Macy? Or he's just, or is he just gonna leave the room and leave her there? I know that's not gonna happen, but like nobody's home. He don't know the phone number. Maybe he can use her phone. But yeah, we'll find out. Okay, I'm shook. Jimmy was actually about to leave. He took her wallet, took the money, and was about to bounce and leave Macy just there. Okay, so let's get back to Maggie. Let's go back to a little bit of normalcy. Maggie has another attack, and this time Jordan finds her. He coming in clutch or whatever. But anywho, Jordan finds her, and I'm off work, and is like explaining to her that she was having a panic attack, and she doesn't want to believe it. She doesn't want to believe that it's something as human as a panic attack. That is a mental thing that she's going through and not a magical thing. And she's like, yeah, no, I understand. Thank you for your medical expertise and your experience and stuff. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's not that. It's some type of magical virus. And Jordan's trying to ask her like what she was doing before the original panic attack. And right before that was when they were talking about Ray. And they were just going to go see Ray. And like it makes sense for it to be a panic attack. Like you were the one that was the daddy's girl and you finally got over him, and now you are going back to see this person who has such a tumultuous and complex relationship with you. So it makes sense that it is a panic attack. She just doesn't want to believe that it's a panic attack. From there, she goes and has her little herbal tea to try to fix it as a magical problem, but I still think it is a panic attack. I'm with you, Jordan. We are here. And right after she drinks it, Ray and Mel come through the portal, and Ray brings all the stuff that him and Chuchi, I think Magic Me explained it to me last week, who Chuchi was. Thank you guys. And yeah, him and Chuchi were able to piece together all these like clues about the faction. And the other thing I just found really interesting was that they haven't showed us Chuchi, right? Like, they talked about this character, but they haven't showed us this character. I could be wrong. Magic, you want to explain again? Because I'm pretty sure they haven't explained who Chuchi is, other than that he or she is a friend of Ray's, and they have police connections. Is it he? Is it she? Maybe we meet Chuchi. Maybe they're like sprinkling Chuchi in further along because they're about to like introduce this character later on in the season. By later on, I mean like the last episode or next season. But yeah, I'm just shocked that really Jimmy was about to leave Macy on the ground like that. Like what? The other thing I wanted to know is that Macy actually knew she had powers from even before the first episode. She seemed shocked during the first episode, but this flashback is showing us that Macy was exhibiting her fire powers before the initial premiere of Charmed. Like what? And I just would like to know how stupid she is, because she let go of that fire power. She don't got that fire power no more. Dumb. Just dumb. One thing I'd like to know, as someone who used to work in hospitals and actually seen someone who has had a surgery or epileptic attack, looks way more scarier than that. But proceeding, right? The episode we are at, Maggie figures it out. It's not somewhere in Brazil that Harry wasn't talking about like a 40 stone parasite. He was trying to say Far Eastern power site, and because he's delirious, he thought he heard something else. But they figured out that is where the faction is holding, because it is a enclosed location with its own power source, isolated from other people. Great find. And Maggie still does not want to admit that she is having panic attacks, which is perfectly okay to admit. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that I have panic attacks. But moving forward from there, we find out in Macy's flashback that we finally get to see Macy's dad outside of a picture. And two, we understand why Macy's such a type 8 personality. The father was very strict, very strict. But I did love that even though he was strict, he was still trying to like explain to Macy, nice man, like try to show Macy that I still have your back. I thought that was really cute. But the one thing, the main problem I had though was that the father, well, Macy explains to her dad that fire came out of her hands. Is she losing her mind? And her father placated her and said, "Oh yeah, go to bed. We'll talk about this in the morning." It's not like he doesn't say that she's crazy at least, but like he doesn't talk to her about it. But instead, we find that Macy did not fall asleep right away, and she overheard her father talking to somebody on the phone, which we know is the mother, and explaining that what we feared would happen actually happened. So they actually were like we knew throughout the series that the mom and dad actually did love each other and they had conversations and maintained communication throughout. So at this point, this is where I guess Macy's mom knew that Macy's powers were coming in. So I think he could have like handled it a little bit better. Yes. However, at the same time, how can you explain to your child, hey, by the way, you're a witch, and I know who your mom is, and she's a witch too, and her other kids don't know that she's a witch, and all these other things. Like it's a hard conversation to have. So I understand that he wanted to probably have this conversation with Macy's mom somewhere present in this, because they know the curse is that Macy's mom can't see Macy, but maybe they were trying to maybe do a phone conversation. At that point, FaceTime was alive, so something like that. The other thing I would like to know is that when I was saying that Harry/Jimmy could have contacted somebody over the phone, I'm forgetting that it's 60 years ago. His mindset was that it was 60 years ago and cell phones didn't exist then. So he actually doesn't know what a cell phone is. Jordan calls Macy when Maggie is ignoring him, and that's how Harry is able to get help. And I just find it hilarious that Macy's getting help from 2 humans because her sisters still have not realized maybe something's wrong. Like Macy hasn't checked. This is my thing. They need to check in with each other more often so that they know when there's trouble occurring, right? Like Macy is having convulsions and they don't know this because they're not checking in on each other. Come on, y'all the charmed ones. Get it together. But yes, I keep forgetting the actor that plays Harry. He did a great job because he was yelling into the phone the same way I'm pretty sure our grandparents, some people's grandparents are tech savvy. My grandpa, on certain things he is. On others, he's still yelling into his phone like we are 10,000 feet away when you don't actually need to do that. You just need to talk in a normal voice. So that was superb acting.
We're good.
Did you hear that? This place generates enough power to run an entire city.
Then we gotta find a way inside. See what the faction's using it for.
Sure, but how? Can't just melt human guards, and I am not bringing Baton to a gunfight.
This kind of reminds me of the Lonely Lair in Battle Down.
Oh my god.
Huh?
You're right.
Huh?
Okay, I have all of the questions. 1, Macy did not remember this memory of her meeting her mother because her mother had Harry wipe her memory. But does that mean Harry didn't remember either? Was there some type of spell that the mom put on Harry as well? The other thing was that Macy's mom told her to clamp down on her feelings so that she can control her powers, and that's bad advice. Because if she instead taught her how to control them while still embracing her feelings, they will be in a much stronger place right now. This is my problem with Charmed every single time this series reboots. Like, this is like the 15th reboot. But, like, it's always the mom taking their children's power away so that they can have a childhood, but that also leaves them vulnerable because you have not prepared them for the, like, problems that are to come when they become adults, right? Like, both series had the same problem. When the Charmed ones finally got into their powers, they had to learn 5 times faster, and they were always behind on certain things or certain information because they didn't grow up with the knowledge of their powers. So you told what's her name, Macy, to clamp down a piece of herself so that she can maintain her powers instead of trying to teach her how to use her powers, or at least connect her with somebody. Well, connect her with a witch that you fully trust so that they can teach her powers, how to use her powers, not like, I understand, I get it, like, she was the product of the necromancer, so she couldn't trust anybody with Macy to make sure that Macy would be protected, but at the same time, you're leaving her at a disadvantage. But again, she left all her children at a disadvantage. So I guess that's a consistent theme. But I did love the fact that the mom spent majority of the time trying to validate Macy as a daughter, try to validate her feelings, she tried to connect with her and give her a bond, even though Macy would not remember it. But I guess subconsciously Macy felt it, I guess. But that was really sad. And of course we see Harry in the background trying to revive or resuscitate whatever Macy with Jordan. And then when he cut to Maggie and Mel, Maggie finally explains that she has another panic attack, and it's because it's small triggering things when she finds out that Mel and Ray are having more than just a work relationship. They were building a father-daughter bond as well. And Maggie confronts Ray and says that even though you may not like it, you're the only connection I have left, which is true because Maggie did have the mom, but the mom kept a whole bunch of secrets, and Macy had her dad, so at least she understood or knew of her father. So you're literally the only person that can connect the dots for her, and she needs you to step up and do it. But it wasn't like it later on became the time, but it really wasn't the time because we're literally in a dangerous situation, and you're here having an implosion. And from where we were sitting, they seemed like she was being very loud, but I guess she wasn't that loud that people couldn't tell. But the positive side of this is that when she was able to finally release her emotions, it became an active power. Like, her feelings were projected on to the guards that they need to distract. So I thought that was really cool. Like, yes, season 2, they gave the empath an active power versus the original Charmed, which barely gave Phoebe an active power and then stripped it away from her. But yes, Maggie got an active power, y'all, and I'm excited, even though it's literally just the second to last episode of the season. But that means that next season, hopefully, they will maintain this active power that Maggie has. I'm so excited for her. The other stupid thing, though, like, logistically speaking, and, like, they got past the guards and are walking through an area where it's open land. Do they really not think we live in 2020 or 2019 when this was filmed, where cameras are everywhere? Like, it's the same thing with the woods. Like, sis, you don't think nobody's out here trying to find y'all? You think, like, from that gate there is no magical trigger? There was no magical trigger like there was in the last facility. Like, are we dumb or are we stupid? They both. Let's be honest, they both. And we also find out that Maggie has always had these panic attacks, but they hid it from her that she was having these panic attacks, which shows that she was an empath from a young age. The mom probably knew that Maggie was going to be the empath because of how she was reacting when the parents got divorced, which also explains why she's getting sick of people thinking that she's not strong enough to handle emotions. When out of everybody, she should be the strongest to handle emotions. Like, what? I think it's like baby syndrome, as in, like, you're the youngest born and people treat you like a baby. Like, it's annoying. Okay, can we just note that they were trying to find a magical solution to Harry's problem, when in fact what it ended up being the answer was a mortal solution, a normal human solution. It was just an extraction of the chip that has the green poison. This just goes to show that we're relying a little too much on our magical powers right now. We just got them and we're still relying too much on them. How is that possible? But that's what's happening. And it's good to see Macy and Harry have their dynamic back. Harry has his memories back. Yay! The girls finally got a huge clue into the faction, because one of my main things a couple of episodes ago was that we are so lacking in knowledge when it comes to the faction, because we don't even know how many of these monsters that they have created. And but I would guess, if I was an evil villain, that it would be a lot. And I'm patting myself on the back, y'all, because I was right. Okay. They have a ton of these tubes that Harry was being held in, like a boatload of them. Boats load of them. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. But before they even like have a way to exit stage left, Julian comes, and after the lockdown protocol, and sees Maggie there. And because he sees Maggie there, and Maggie uses the marble to get out of there, Julian knows that Maggie's a witch, which means they're covered bone, which means that he also knows that Macy's a witch, which still means that safe space is no longer safe, because Julian knows about Maggie and where Maggie works and where they spend a majority of their time. So they're gonna go through the surveillance and see what area have they been going in and out of and have been spending a lot of time in, and then they're gonna find the headquarters. We need to move. Is there like a spell to move the whole headquarters with all of the knowledge with them to a specific location, like somewhere else and covered? You know, like just take the whole thing and move. I think there is. I think it's somewhere in those books in the background that if they had kept the elder, they would know what it is. You see how all this stuff is coming full circle to bite them in the butt? Okay, so Maggie and her father talking to her, like them talking, got to me, like, you know, shed some tears or whatever, but it's okay, I'm a thug, we're gonna keep it pushing. So we see Macy finally embracing the fact that she actually can embrace all of her emotions and feel everything. She doesn't have to be perfect. She doesn't have to be in control all the time. She can just breathe and live. And by doing that, we have Hayseed. Finally, the love triangle is over. Macy and Harry are together. If that's not the end goal you wanted, I'm sorry. That's what lifetime YCW has chosen for us. Like, we didn't know one of those witches was gonna be with the white lighter because, you know, Piper and Leo. But okay, whatever. But yes, that is the end of the episode. I'm happy for everybody. We finally got the emotional closure that we wanted. The season finale is next week. Predictions, we find out, we already know that, you know, Julian's gonna go on attack mode. I think he'll go even more on attack mode if he finds out that Macy did the F-boy thing of using his feelings for her to try to get him to open up. And yeah, that's still messed up with Macy. Like, there's no way to justify that. That's messed up. But the final battle is gonna be next week, and I don't know if it's really was season 2 episode 19 was the original finale. Was that the planned finale, or because of COVID-19 they were forced to make it the original finale? We shall do research, and by we I mean I will do research and bring that back to y'all next week. Because I don't think it was. I feel like they were expecting 21, 22 episodes, 20 episodes, but episodes ending on episode 19. And that's a little weird. Like, that, they usually like to keep it like a nice round number. I always hit the 20s, but that is it. This is my review of Charmed season 2 episode 18. I am so ecstatic for the finale. Please let me know what you guys think. You guys know I love reading your comments down below. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.